You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat Veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 8687.
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're listening to our acoustic version of the Star Spangled Banner here on KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the
Keep on doing what you do, Rick. You're my favorite host. Favorite host.
You know this freedom is anything but free. What we have here depends on those who will fight for what they believe. When we stand together, there's nothing that we can achieve. This nation of people standing as one in the name of liberty.
Well, good evening, folks. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's had a great Tuesday evening. We're rounding the corner to Wednesday now at this point. It's about 11:16 on the East Coast, so we're heading towards midnight there. It's about 10:16 Central and 8:16 on the left coast. So no matter where you're listening tonight, I hope everybody's had a wonderful day. And now this is, of course, the anniversary of D-Day. So I wanted, actually on the Jen and Rick show, you may have heard, we just finished that one up. We actually played a little bit of Reagan's speech, so I thought I'd open things a little bit differently. I wanted to actually play Lee Greenwood's God Bless America, but unfortunately we have ASCAP protection. We do not currently have BMI protection. So unfortunately, Mr. Greenwood, you're not covered by ASCAP. You need to fix that. Because, yeah, I heard one of the other more prominent hosts opened their show with that today, and I was like, I really shouldn't do that. And then I went and looked, and I was like, but I can't, because I don't want to get in trouble, because we only have permission to play things for people that have given us permission, or for ASCAP coverage. And yeah, we have, but that ain't there, so I couldn't play it. So anyway, I settled, which I really wouldn't say settled. We actually have the new leader, our new leader, new lead singer of Madison Rising. Madison Rising, who's actually been on with us before. Actually, he did a roundtable show with us once, which was really, really cool. But yeah, he gave us permission to play pretty much anything they have as often as we want. And you may have heard him talking there at the opening. But anyway, so just wanted to play that only because, this is the anniversary of D-Day, and we find ourselves at yet another crossroads. Interesting how this seems to keep happening. Because now we have basically same kind of scenario. We have a group of people that is out to take over the world, but nobody's talking about them. So we're going to talk about some things tonight that I think we really, really need to talk about. But unfortunately, because I opened with that song, we have to take our first break. Be right back.
These are the times that we'll try. They'll try me so.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
All right, folks, so we are back. So, we're going to talk about a few things today that I'm not sure anybody knows about. These are some of the things that I found out along the way when I started studying the religion and the political philosophy of Islam. And I've heard some other hosts starting to talk about them, so I figured we might as well touch on them too. Because now, first of all, I don't want to start a panic, because as of right now, our Constitution and Sharia law are not compliant with one another. But you'll hear all of these Muslims that are starting to talk about how they want Sharia law in their town. They want Sharia law in their state. They want Sharia law for all of America and for all of the world. And they will tell you this. But there are very specific reasons why they want these things. There are very specific tenets to Islam and Sharia law that we don't really talk about. Like, every day, if somebody mentions the word mosque, what's the first word that pops into your head? Church. Worship center, gathering place. It is all of those things. But as far as the governmental body of Islam or Sharia is concerned, it is much, much more than that. It becomes a citadel. It becomes a fortress. It becomes an area as a meeting place, but also as an armory and a storage point for travelers to be able to train and all sorts of other things in areas that they're traveling to. And there are parts of Sharia law, these same people that, Sharia law is great. Sharia law will get rid of your credit card debt because you won't be able to be charged interest. There's been a very prominent Muslim leader of a female persuasion, which seems kind of odd, but okay. For them, not for us. But it just seems odd that they have some outspoken female folks trying to push for Sharia law. Because, we've talked about it before. She actually was putting out tweets about the fact that, your credit card interest would go away because under Sharia law, you cannot charge interest. Okay, so that's one plus. Now let's start talking about the negatives. There's a little known negative that in Sharia law, when there is a mosque that's built, pay attention, New York City. Pay attention, California. Under Sharia law, when a mosque is built for a 3-mile perimeter around that mosque, under Sharia law, that land that the mosque was built on and 3 miles around it becomes property of the mosque. It is property of Islam. Now again, for the moment, that doesn't matter. But I want you to understand what we're talking about here. These people that are advocating for Sharia law, they're advocating for everywhere that there is a mosque that has been built in this country, in Great Britain, in anywhere that they want to some point adhere to Sharia law someday. Those will basically become embassies for Sharia and for Islam. There will be a 3-mile cordon. Everybody talks about all these no-go zones. I wonder if anybody's bothered to research what the proximity is of a mosque to some of these no-go zones. And are they more than 3 miles in every direction? Is it within the 3-mile zone? Because I'd almost bet you, if you bother to look In all of these places in Europe where they're popping up with all these no-go zones, where it's Sharia law only and nobody that doesn't practice Sharia law is allowed inside, blah, 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 yada, 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 I bet you if anybody bothered to look, it would be within 3 miles of a mosque. How much do you want to bet? Just asking. How much do you want to bet that it would be within 3 miles of a mosque? You know, I found the downside to trying to do these things back to back because we didn't get things started at exactly the 60-minute mark, and I've kind of lost track of where the break should go because usually I'm looking at the clock going, okay, I need to do a break now, I need to do a break now, and sadly, because we didn't reset the clock, it's really, really thrown off. I think because I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is time for a break again, so we're going to go ahead and get one queued up. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be back after about 3 minutes, and I apologize if I'm taking the break a little bit early, but it's better safe than sorry. We'll be back here in about 3 minutes. Stay tuned. Lots more about Sharia and...
Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
All right, folks, welcome back. Well, we're rounding the corner towards the bottom of the hour. We're not quite there yet, so we've got a few minutes, but... Okay, so before the break, we were talking about one of the little-known aspects of Sharia law, where basically a mosque would basically become an embassy for Islam, and a 3-mile radius around the mosque would be property of Islam. Doesn't matter if your house is there, doesn't matter if you have a business there, it's property of Islam. So again, interesting correlation, and I may have somebody start looking into it. I'm curious if all of these no-go zones in Europe now may or may not be centered around mosques, because I didn't actually think about that till I said it on air a second ago, but I bet you there's a pretty good correlation. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong before, but I don't know, it just seems like an interesting coinky-dink, shall we say. All right, so other little interesting tidbits about Sharia law that nobody talks about, and about Islam that nobody really talks about. This is the fact that this is one of the only religious/political beliefs governmental systems on the planet where they tell you that it's okay to lie. It specifically tells you in the Quran that if you are doing so to keep yourself safe, your family safe, or to keep your countrymen safe, then it is okay for you to lie. Never seen a religion other than this one, and maybe the Book of Satan, where it says that it's okay to lie. But apparently this one says that it is. So, and this has been one of my points all along, and I keep coming back to this, and I understand that to the millennials out there and to the bleeding heart liberals out there, I sound like someone who's living in fear. I am not living in fear. I'm trying to be practical. If it is okay for a practicing Muslim to lie to anyone to be able to keep themselves what they believe is safe, and they think that all infidels are less than human, there's another word for infidel. They call them kafir. That's the Muslim. That's a word for cattle. That's how they refer to us. I don't say that to be mean. I don't say that to hurt feelings. I'm trying to make you understand what it is that we are up against, because I have seen some crazy things on Twitter today. I've seen some crazy things on Twitter. I see crazy things on Facebook all the time about the only way to overcome the hate of Islam is with love. That sounds great. But what are you supposed to do when somebody's chopping your head off? Please don't do that. I love you. Jesus loves you, man. Don't chop. Oh, never mind. That's my point. Look, I get it. Again, we've talked about this on the show a lot. We have a Western mentality of, if I'm good to you, you are going to be good to me. Do unto others as they would do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We live by that rule. That rule has been a part of life that has been ingrained in me since age 1. Well, don't do that to little Timmy, because you wouldn't want little Timmy to do that to you. Now, granted, that doesn't have the same biblical context to it, but it's the same concept. You put yourself in someone else's shoes and say, well, if I was this person, would I want them to do this to me? That's great. That works wonderful in Western culture, because we understand the concept of, we can empathize with people. We understand where they're coming from. We go out of our way to do it. We have literally rearranged our entire legal system to make people that can't seem to figure out which gender they are feel better. Because we go out of our way to put ourselves in other people's shoes. We now literally have boys that are dressing as women and are dressing as girls, and they're running in school track meets in the female categories, and they're decimating them. We have turned our entire society on its head because we want to try to make everybody feel welcome. Because do unto others as you would have them do unto you. They do not have that concept in Sharia law. They do not have that concept in Islam. And the sooner that we can come to terms with the fact that they do not have the same value system as we do, the easier it will be to deal with the fact that these people, part and parcel, want to destroy us. They have to. Because the only way to bring... Now I want you to think about this from a Christian perspective. How often do you sit in a church and listen to a pastor tell you that we're in the final days, that we are in the last days, that Jesus is coming soon, and you get the goosebumps, and you get happy, and you get the smiles, because you know that soon you're going to be in heaven, and you're going to see your relatives, and you're going to see the face of God. Now, why am I sounding like a preacher for a second? Because I'm trying to bring a point home to you. These people have almost the same belief system that you do, but the only difference is they haven't had a second coming yet, or even a first coming by their reckoning, because the only way to bring about their Savior is to bathe the world in the blood of the infidel. And that is what they're trying to do, and we're letting them do it. We are letting them do it. All right, on that note, we've hit the bottom of the hour, or the closest equivalent I can get to what should be the bottom of the hour. So we are going to take another really quick break. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be back here in just about 4 minutes. Stay tuned.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his book.
All right, folks, welcome back. All right, so we're into the last half of the show, and I still got lots to talk about. Most of this, again, is centered around the fact that this is the anniversary of D-Day, so there's a reason that I keep bringing that up, because we are literally watching a foreign power roll through our world right now, and they are doing everything they can to destabilize our world, to tear it to pieces, to make us live in fear, and it's time for us to rise up. Everybody says that. They say it a lot. There was this mini-series that came on ABC a while ago called Rise Up about the struggle of homosexuality, yada, yada, yada. And look, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I have friends that are gay. I have family that are gay. I don't judge you for it. I don't necessarily condone it, but I don't judge you for it either, because I don't have to live your life. But I'm not going to go out of my way, like the federal government has been doing, to do mental gymnastics just to make you feel better about your life choices. That's what we're talking about here. And I know, Rick, it's not a choice. In some cases, it is. When you have to decide, well, I have the twig and berries, but I don't feel like I should have the twig and berries, so I'm going to make the choice to dress like a woman. That is a choice. Say what you want. We are a nation of choices, a nation of laws, and those things need to matter. So we have a choice right now. We can continue to placate people that want to destroy us, or we can start finding a way to make a difference in regards to those people that want to destroy us. Now, some people think that we should be taking the Dr. Seuss approach because, you know, the Who didn't defeat Grinch with hate. It was their singing and their joy and their love that made his heart grow 5 sizes bigger that day. I think it was 5 sizes. I don't know. I haven't read the Grinch in forever. Yeah, that was I'm not going to give out her name, but that was basically a paraphrase of a tweet given out by a fiction author who shall remain nameless, because hate doesn't solve anything. Well, that sounds really great on the face of it, because I really don't hate anyone. I don't even necessarily hate Muslims. The problem is we have way too many Muslims that hate us. That is the problem. That is a problem, and that is a huge problem, because we have so many of them that dislike us. And that needs to be dealt with. Look, one of the things that I was really, really happy to see after this most recent, what is this, round 12 in London now? You know, the whole, the London Bridge thing where somebody, like, plowed into a bunch of people, killed a few. The people involved in that are now apparently dead. A lot of the imams in that area actually stood up and put their names to paper and said, as someone who practices and understands Islam, I will not, and I urge every other Muslim cleric to do the same thing, give the traditional Muslim prayer for these barbarians. Now, that was a big step. That was a huge step. That was one of the things that I've been waiting to see, because we hear everybody talk about all of these moderate Muslims. Moderate Muslims will win the day because there's more of them than there are these folks. But, you know, as much as that gave me a warm fuzzy, and as much as I liked someone putting pen to paper and standing up and telling us that they were going to do the right thing, I started thinking about taqiyya again. The ability to lie to the infidel to protect yourself. Was this something they meant in their heart, or was this something that they knew that we wanted to hear? Even if they do those things, and they say the non-standard Muslim prayer out loud, guess what? And I'm sorry, maybe I'm a cynic, but even if they're saying it out loud, and it's not the usual Muslim blessing for death, whatever they want to call it. They used a specific word in the article. I can't find it right now. But I don't know about you, but have you ever said one thing with your mouth and thought something else in your heart? Again, could this be an outward face? I really, really want to hope not, because this could be something that we needed to see. Were Muslims finally deciding to stand up and saying enough is enough? I don't know. Again, we're back to the M&M theory. You know, you have a bowl full of delicious M&Ms. Some of them are chocolate, some of them are chocolate with peanut, some of them are poison, but you don't know which ones they are. Do you reach in, grab a handful, and try your luck, or do you go to the store and buy more M&Ms? I'm a fat kid, so I gotta say I'd have to think really long and hard about it, but I'm pretty sure I'd go to the store and buy some other M&Ms. Only because, you know, you kinda have to. But what do I know? But that's kind of where we are. We can take this at face value, we can call it a victory and hope for the best, because it actually looks like it might have been one. We might be finally starting to get through to folks. Speaking of finally getting through to folks, the British stiff upper lip seems to be wavering a bit. The Prime Minister of Great Britain basically just said that at this point, to keep Great Britain safe, whatever laws we have to change to make sure that people can remain safe in this country are what we are going to do, even involving human rights. And, of course, the left had a meltdown. Look, I get it. I don't ever want to see human rights suspended. But what do you do when you know you've lost your country? Because that is what Great Britain is facing right now. It is easy for us to sit over here after a handful of attacks and being basically distantly related to it at this point, because we're smart enough to try to keep the fighting over there for the most part, except for you bleeding heart liberals that want them to come over here. And we'll talk about that in a second too, about why it's such a bad idea that we keep wanting to take all these people in. But let's focus on this for a second. So the left is having a cow over what the Prime Minister of Britain said. I believe it was today. It was either today or yesterday. Again, I don't have the tweet in front of me, where they said that even if it meant that they were going to be changing some of the laws around human rights, they would do so to make sure that Britain remains safe. And I don't want to I don't want to ever see that happen. But I'm hoping that we never get to where they are, so that it doesn't have to happen. The simple fact of the matter is they're having to make really hard choices now, because they have been attacked multiple times in the last few weeks. And this isn't the first time. And it's because they've made bad choices and bad decisions. Look, you can say whatever you want about me. I don't care. The simple fact of the matter is, until we know that the people that are coming over here that are of the Muslim faith actually want to assimilate, want to become Americans, then and only then will I trust them. And even then, I'm still not sure I will. But, what are you supposed to do when you know for a fact these people, some of them want to kill you? We now have a group with ties to Muslim terror organizations roaming the capitals in the state of Oklahoma and the other 50 states of the Union. It's called CARE, the Council for American Islamic Relations. And we know for a fact that they're tied to Hamas. And it's terrible. And it's a front group. It's basically a group that goes in, smooths things over, guilts people into making them understand that, not all Muslims are evil. But you ask them if they believe in Sharia, and they'll tell you, yes. But not here, because it wouldn't fit here. But yes, I believe in Sharia, but it wouldn't fit here. What they're not telling you is there's a yet at the end of that sentence. It wouldn't fit here yet, because our Constitution and Sharia are not compatible. But we're going to talk about a little bit more about this, because one of these other unknown little tenets of Islam, when we come back, we got to take another really quick break.
Invent Health.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at Invent Help.
Call Invent Help today for free information. Invent Help has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. Invent Help can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call Invent Help today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put Invent Help in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
This is John Preston, Marine Combat Veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year. And I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
All right, so we are rounding the corner towards the end of the show, but we're going to talk about one other nice little interesting tidbit from Islam. Because there have been a lot of Muslim clerics over the years that have given speeches and great talks about how Muslims should go forth and colonize. Now notice I said colonize. There is a big difference between what Muslims are called to do and what we think they are doing. We think they're coming over here because they want a better life. They want the American dream. Just like, give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. We assume, because it's how it's always worked before, that the people coming over here have wanted to do so because they want freedom. Because they yearn to be able to make their own choices and their own decisions. And maybe a small portion of them actually do want those things. But I will tell you that most of them do not. And I will tell you why most of them do not. Because they have been commanded by their clerics to go forth and colonize. They are colonizing for a very specific reason. Look at what happened in Europe when they started coming over. Did they start attacking right away, really? Was it like it is now? There were incidences. There were. But they're not like they are now. There weren't, from day one, no-go zones in areas that people couldn't go into in Great Britain and Europe, but there are now, because they've gone over there, they've colonized, they've built up their numbers, and now they have the ability to take out the country from the inside. That is what they have been trained to do. It is what they have been raised to do. And we're watching it in front of our very eyes, and yet we still don't seem to want to call it what it is. They are not immigrating. They are invading. If we do not hold the line, they're going to do it here. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but they are going to do it here. And there's nothing that anyone, and I mean anyone, will be able to do to stop them, because they are going to do it here. We know it. They know it, but the left doesn't want to admit it. Because if we just love them enough, they will understand. If we hug them enough, they will understand. If we show them enough compassion, Rick, they will understand. They have to understand that we in America, we do not hate the Muslims, Rick. We want to love them and hug them and squeeze them and call them George, because we want them here. We need them here because they make us feel better about ourselves. That's what it comes down to. We are a society that is currently trying to assuage our guilt over things that we think we have done wrong in our past. And maybe we have. As someone who looks white but has Native American ancestry, I can tell you that there are things that have happened in this country that I'm not proud of. But I am still proud of this country as a whole because of the things that we have accomplished. We are talking about this stuff today on the anniversary of one of the biggest turning points in our history. The day that the war changed. This was the turning point. This was the pivot to victory. And yet now we are watching another struggle on a world scale, and nobody's willing to fight it. We're watching another group coming to power, doing everything that they can to take over every square inch of land that they can find, because they have to. Because it's the only way to bring about their caliphate. We use that word a lot. I don't think we know what it means. Sorry, I'm flashing to the Princess Bride now. You keep using this word. I do not think you know. I do not think this word means what you think it means. Anyway, sorry. It's like one of my favorite gifs on Twitter, so sue me. And actually, I don't, because, everybody's always told me that it should be pronounced GIF. I guess the creator of the GIF actually came out and said it should be pronounced as GIF. Sorry, brother, I know you made it, but I've always called it GIF. I will continue to call it GIF, and I really don't care if that upsets you or not. I'm just being honest. So what have we talked about tonight, just to start recapping? Just in case we've had some latecomers to the show. And I know a lot of you listen on podcasts, so I know some of you skip around and get the juicy bits and come back and listen to the rest later. So let's recap for those late to class, so to speak. We've been talking about mosques and how when you and I think about mosques, we think of things like churches or synagogues. And on the face of it, that's what they are. But they have this whole other sinister level where they are meeting places to train folks in jihad. They are storage places for supplies for folks that are traveling to places to get to places to do jihad. They are also an embassy for Islam, because under Sharia law, where a mosque stands for 3 miles, I think their actual language for it used to be anywhere that the shadow of the mosque could fall was considered Islamic property. Now, I'm completely pulling that out of the air, but I'm pretty sure it was in there somewhere. And it's kind of over time just become kind of a 3-mile rule, where for 3 miles around a mosque, for as far as the eye could see, in that 3-mile range, that was property of Islam. Property of the mosque. Didn't matter if your house was there, didn't matter if your crops were there, doesn't matter. That property now belongs to Islam. Period. End of sentence, end of discussion. We're also talking about the fact that we have all of this appeasement going on from the left. And all of these people wringing their hands. We need to love them. The golden rule applies to them too. No, actually it doesn't, because they don't even know what that is. They have no concept of it. They view it as weakness. They come at everything from a position of strength. Let me give you a case in point. One of Muhammad's early teachings about making a peace treaty was you only make a peace treaty if you're too weak to win. You sign for peace with your enemy when you are too weak to win, and then you build up your numbers and you come back and you break the treaty when you know you can win. But if you already have the numbers, then you slaughter them and you move on. That was a direct teaching of Muhammad. You only offer peace when you're in a position of weakness, until you can gain the upper hand, and then you do whatever it is that you need to do. These are the people that we're fighting. This is what you need to understand. From a Muslim perspective, Muhammad was the perfect example of a Muslim. He lied. He stole. He broke treaties. But he's the perfect example of a Muslim, because everything that he did to bring about the Islamic Caliphate. And that is what we are dealing with, is people that are patterning their lives after Muhammad. So yes, they will come at you with outstretched hands when they do not have a position of strength. You're seeing it now in Europe, in London, in Germany, in all of these places in Europe. You're seeing all of these attacks now because they are starting to get a position of strength. And they're following the teaching of Muhammad. You immigrate. You do not immigrate to a country. You colonize a country. You do not assimilate because you are apart from this country. You will one day rule this country. That is their mindset. And for those of you that think I'm pulling this stuff out of the air, think about it from a Christian perspective. I'm not of this world. I'm from another world. I'm simply passing through this one. I will not become a part of this land because my home is not here. We have some of the same teachings, but from a completely different perspective. Ours isn't to rule. Ours is to make sure that we don't get bogged down in the day-to-day mundane BS and the drama and the lust and the greed and the stealing and all of the other things. We were to keep ourselves separate, not to rule, but because our home is on the other side of this brief journey. They don't see it that way. They never have. All right, so we've got one last break we got to sneak in. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. Don't go.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The proud Marines.
Folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission as Waking Up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
All right, I just realized I didn't do this yet, so I need to really start remembering to do this at the beginning of the show. If you like following along with the show here, there are several ways you can do that. Anytime we're live, you can go to klrnradio.com. Click on the chat room section. You can usually find me hanging out in there. Our live shows are really, really late. We air all over the place, so it gets confusing for some folks. So I'm going to run down the schedule one more time. For KLRN Radio, we're live every Sunday through Thursday on America Off the Rails at 11 p.m. Eastern. I'm also live right before that on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern for the Jen and Rick Show. And then I am live every Friday night, same time slot as America Off the Rails, but we do the Robinson and Wright Show on Friday nights just to round out the week, make things a little more fun. It just made sense to me since I have shows with co-hosts sometimes and shows that I do by myself. I wanted them to be separate, even though it is just me talking with other folks. I know some folks just kind of, well, this time we have a co-host, other times we don't. To me, I wanted them to be separate because it just makes things easier for marketing purposes. Also, if you can't listen to us live, you can find podcast versions all over the place. You can find us on iHeartRadio, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FM Player, Google Play Music, Blueberry, Pocket Cast, iTunes. Honestly, one of the favors that I have, because we have folks that are now really starting to tune in quite often, I'd like you to do me a favor if you can. Find us on iHeart and iTunes. And make sure you're giving us a follow there and rate us on iTunes if you don't mind, only because we're really trying to boost our profile there. Also, as far as other places where we are broadcast, where it's not technically a podcast, that happens on AMFM247.com every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It happens on Red Nation Rising Radio, the Liberty Channel, every Monday through Friday, and that is at 6 a.m. Eastern. Lanterns Radio Network is Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. Then, of course, CRNTalk.com, one of our biggest affiliates and networks. We're currently on there every Saturday and Sunday at 8 p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Now, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Okay, sorry. I'm Central Time, so trying to get used to all these different time zones where things are all the time sometimes gets a little confusing. Now, I want to bring this up on the way out the door. We have been given a heck of an opportunity through CRN. So if you are looking to get your advertising out there and get more bang for the buck, they are offering to put sponsors that sign through us, and yes, you have to be a sponsor, not just an advertiser. They have offered to put our sponsors on everywhere they run. That puts you into 11 million homes through their cable providers. It puts you into 200 terrestrial markets, all for one monthly rate, and you'll get multiple runs. If you are interested in finding out more about that, you can hit me up at rick@klrnradio.com, and I'll get you in touch with the folks that are actually handling that side of things for us so that we can start working on getting that situated. Again, I mean, we are talking a lot of advertising bang for your buck. If you don't believe me, go check out crntalk.com. They're a really great outfit to be with, and we're doing everything we can to not only remain over there, but continue to expand, because the show's footprint will expand over there as we get more and more sponsors and advertisers. So right now we're looking to fill some sponsor spots. When we get those filled in, we'll start talking with folks that just want to do advertising packages. But if you're really wanting to start getting yourself out there, and you have either a local business that you know folks will travel to come see you, if you have like a hotel or a restaurant or something and you want to get the word out about yourself nationally, this is the time to do it. We're almost giving the time away when it breaks down for how much you're actually going to be paying per run. So this is the time to do it. All right. On that note, folks, we are just about out of time. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. One of the episodes from last week is now up over 1,000 plays, so I want to thank everybody who's gone back and listened to that one, whether it was live, podcast, Memorex, whatever the case may be. It's amazing to me that so many of you are still tuning in on a regular basis. We have some shows that really, really take off, and others that are just kind of meh. Eventually, we'll figure it out, and we'll bring you all the stuff that you like all the time, so everybody will tune in. But we're still finding our feet here, so to speak. I mean, I've only consistently been doing this for 5 nights a week now for about, I guess it's been 2-3 years now. So, I mean, it was easy when it was a weekly broadcast because I had plenty of time to plan it out. Everything was tight. I knew where everything was. I knew where all the files were. But it's really, really hard to do this almost on a full-time basis while also working a full-time job and trying to raise a family. So again, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know every single host says this, but you guys are the reason I do this every day. It would be just as easy for me to hang it up, shut it all down, go hang out in my chair and watch TV, but you're the reason why I do this every day. And it's, not just you, but you're the main reason. And also because I really, really want to try to do something to make a difference in a world that has gone absolutely crazy. And that's why the title of the show is America Off the Rails. Now, I don't know if Trump will be the one to put us back on the rails or not, or if a good friend of mine, Patrick Fernari, who used to come on the show quite a bit and now has a show of his own, used to say whether he thinks Trump would be more of a transitional president, not a transformational president. So far, I tend to agree with him, but I'm still, even if I'm not on the Trump train, I never bought a ticket, I'm still 1,000,000% happy that Hillary Clinton is not president. And on that note, we are out for the night, folks. I will see you when I see you. God willing, and the creek don't rise, I will be back with you live tomorrow night for the Wednesday edition of America Off the Rails. And We'll be back again for Jen and Rick on Thursday, and then America Off the Rails again, and then round out your Friday entertainment with the Robinson and Rice Show, right here on KLRNradio.com, where liberty and reason still reign, and where we hope to bring you all of the entertainment and news that you need and crave. We will be back with you before you know it. Take care. God bless.